Good afternoon, everybody that's attending today. Um, for those of you who don't know, but I'm sure you all do, I'm the principal of the Sheffield Private School. My name is Mr. James Batts, and very, very welcome to all that are joining us today. And a big thank you to the team that have set up the webinar, Miss Felicity and our IT team, and my colleagues that are joining me today. So today our approach is to look at the transition for year 6 into year 7. I've got with me Miss Pravina, who is the head of secondary, and Miss Sue, who is the assistant principal coordinator of secondary, to talk you through the provision for Key Stage 3, our pastoral care, and some of what you can expect on your journey from year 6 into year 7. My job today is to talk you through a bit of the school vision and a bit about high performance learning, which is the philosophy that we use here at Sheffield. You're very welcome to put questions into the chat. Not every question is going to get answered today, but we will make sure that we publish an F&Q after this to make sure that every question is answered. And Miss Pravina and Miss Sue are always available on phone or email if you wish to follow up after this webinar. So our vision at Sheffield Private School, quite simply, is to be one of the leading, most affordable schools in Dubai. We like to classify ourselves as working towards providing what would be an ultra curriculum, something that is both holistic and academic in nature. But I think this is a nice opportunity just to say, well done to those children in year 6. You've successfully navigated your way through primary school, and you're ready for those next big challenges in your life, where I'm sure you'll be very successful and achieve great things as we support you through what we call our ultra curriculum. I'm excited, really excited about what your next steps are going to look like as you progress into secondary and continue onto what will one day be your exams, your GCSEs, your BTECs, and just really becoming whoever you want to be in the future. So I think one of my key messages just before I go into our vision is just to retain that enthusiasm about who you may want to be later in life. So please remember to dream, to think big, and to aim to be whatever you wish to be, the best you can be, whether that be a doctor, an astronaut, surgeon, whatever. We at Sheffield like to think that we are here to support children and young learners to follow through on whatever they want to be and whatever their dreams may be. No dream killers here. And part of what we put in place at Sheffield is this high performance learning model that removes barriers and supports children and young adults to eventually go on and be those people they want to be. We have very clear strategic plans for the school, and you would have seen the school develop greatly this year within our limitless learning model, both aesthetically with the way we have approached improving the front of the school, the reception, some areas of the classrooms, the KG. There is the post-16 room. There's been that kind of development on a student level, but there's been a continuous development or focus on how do we improve teaching and learning. How do we make sure that we have a more succinct and developed assessment model in school? And actually, how do we make learning fun and developmental and skills-based whilst we're going through what has been a very challenging time within this COVID pandemic? So you will see that the school has developed greatly over the short period of time that myself and my team have been in post. And there are big aspirations moving forward. And it's a very, very exciting time to be here at Sheffield. So within our vision, we like to consider ourselves as opening up opportunities, reporting often to parents, and creating that level of transparency so that everybody within our community understands what it is that we're trying to achieve. We started our journey saying that we were a community that cares. And I'm really proud of the provision and my team for the way they've approached this year. They've worked incredibly hard to develop the learning, but also develop those wonderful relationships with our students who, from my point of view, are very, very happy in school the majority of the time, but also try and reach out to parents in the community to really understand where the needs are, what we think we need to develop with, get that feedback and support our families who we know are also very, very challenged due to the current situation. Within that, and the confines, that kind of box that we're in at the moment, where within those KHDA expectations, we're still providing an aspirational curriculum, and our children are still being super successful, and hopefully will continue that way for the future. So I think the thing to consider is just the aim of the school in terms of supporting students to be the best they can be, both academically and holistically. And a huge part of that falls within our HPL model. And I think if we can just flick on to the next slide there, please. A big part of what we're trying to do in terms of our purpose is, as the statement says on the screen, learners of today leading tomorrow. And leadership and growth and those skills or those global competencies around being a leader and being a successful individual within this ever-changing world fits nicely into the package that we try to create, not only with our ultra curriculum, but with our high performance learning model. So we've got a couple of slides here that comes direct from the high performance learning team, which kind of suggests that the model for success is about seeing every child with that level of potential. Every student has potential. Every person, every school has potential. And it's about creating those opportunities, putting the level of support in place, and eventually, hopefully, seeing children succeed and be high achievers. But high achievers fall into certain categories around the values that they have, the attitudes they have, the skills that we develop. This isn't just about developing a knowledge-based curriculum where we're instilling knowledge into children. It's about developing those skills that make you successful for life, such as collaboration. Have we got the next slide there? Thank you. So you can see that what we're trying to put together is a total package, and I think we're doing it very successfully. Something that allows every child to have the opportunity to be a high achiever. Now, what that means is that this approach recognizes that all children have potential to be high achievers, to get great results, and it emphasizes or places emphasis on developing a well-rounded learner with the attitudes and characteristics to allow this to happen. So that integrates, and a lot of our children will have been learning this. It integrates what we call our VAAs, which is the values, and our ACPs, which is the characteristics. And that is integrated within our curriculum so that we are touching on this in every single lesson, promoting it throughout the school, whether it be assemblies, walking in the corridor, in our newsletters, and generally developing over time as we strive towards becoming a high performance learning school and gaining the high performance learning award at the end of next year. We're also looking to be innovation leaders for the future, such as Microsoft Showcase, which we're also looking to achieve by the end of next year. So there's been lots of development in school, and I'm very proud, and I think we're starting to now really see that bubble over and be in every classroom and get out there in our parent community, so you can see the type of school that we have that great aspiration and want to achieve. And I think one of the key aspects that I've noted that we really push for within school at the moment is the notion of perseverance and resilience. And the reason for that is because it is such a challenging time for our children and young adults as they come into school. COVID places such a huge amount of pressure on everybody, as well as the stress of trying to, as well as the stress of, thinking, am I in a safe environment? What is this going to look like? How will this affect my learning? The number of questions that must be in an individual's head as they walk into school every day. So supporting children on that holistic level, making sure that they are persevering, they are remaining resilient, and remaining focused on that main goal, which is to be successful at school and further up into secondary, performing well and being successful within their GCSEs, and that focus on being that type of individual, and everybody's focused in school on developing, that holistic, ultra curriculum philosophy that we've got is something you would have heard me speak about during one of my podcasts, because I like to term that Apollo thinking, which I guess is that old adage of shoot for the stars. You never know, you may land on the moon. And one of the lines I use quite regularly in school is, if you dream it, you can achieve it. And I think you'll find everyone in school now believes that learning truly can be limitless. I believe I'm now handing over to Miss Pravina, who is the Vice Principal and Head of Secondary, our wonderful Miss Pravina, who many of you all know as an incredible individual that really truly believes in supporting children in school and going the extra mile. A colleague that I'm very proud to have worked with this year, and I know as you move from year 6 into year 7, you'll also get to know Miss Pravina and enjoy working with her. Okay, Miss Pravina.
Thank you very much, James. Good evening and welcome to this very important and exciting evening for our Year 6 students. My name is Praveena and I'm proud to say I am the Vice Principal and Head of Secondary here at Sheffield Private School. Transition from primary to secondary school can be an exciting time for many children. The opportunity to experience new subjects, new activities, and make new friends. We understand that while most of the students feel this way, some may experience nervousness at the thought of starting secondary school. We will strive to ensure all students feel supported in their transition process and that it goes as smooth as possible. I will spend the next 15 minutes with you discussing about the Key Stage 3 curriculum. Our aim is to ensure academic rigor and achievement, to provide a balanced and exciting curriculum, to encourage our children to meet academic challenges with openness, enthusiasm, and a willingness to solve problems, to encourage self-discipline and high standards of behavior and attainment, to develop loyalty, leadership, tolerance, and a sense of responsibility and respect for others, to develop a commitment to strive for self-improvement, effective communication and teamwork, to encourage creativity, curiosity, and analytical thought, to provide an atmosphere where being ready for challenges of being a global citizen. Can we move on to the next slide? We understand the students come to school to learn. This doesn't just refer to learning the solution for quadratic equations or be able to ask for a sandwich in French. We recognize that these are formative years that act as a building block for lifelong learning. We understand the need to equip our students with the skills and tools to be successful. We have mapped these out in the personal development journey. Year 7, 8, and 9 make up Key Stage 3 at TSVS. You can see how vital these years are in establishing early personal development. They get early opportunity to lead, to learn about different culture, to develop resilience and understanding the dynamics of teamwork. Our students explore new and more challenging content in their Key Stage 3 journey. Assessment will be similar to Year 6. They have GL assessment, projects, big writes, discussion-based exploration. More than just exams, TSPS provides a whole-rounded experience. We drive the skills resilience, innovation, mindfulness, and employability in all that we do. As James said, TSPS aims to make our students the best version of themselves. So we expect you to aim to the moon to reach the stars that you will become. I'm sure that our students, our future leaders, will make us a proud student-parent community. Let's discuss about our approach in Key Stage 3, innovative curriculum and approaches to teaching and learning. We provide an excellent balanced education in a nurturing and challenging learning environment, producing confident world-class citizens who strive to be the best. All students of Key Stage 3 follows national curriculum. We provide enjoyment, enhance self-esteem, and raises aspiration. Our curriculum motivates all students and enables them to develop intellectually, creatively, socially, and physically. We promote more moral, social, and cultural development, encompasses the acquisition of personal learning and thinking skills. All subjects will emphasize the teaching, learning, assessment, and progression in cross-curricular skills. Emphasizes the importance of literacy and numeracy. All students will be able to develop their knowledge, understanding, and skills in literacy and numeracy through discrete lessons and across the curriculum. Enables the students to understand the connection between the different subjects. Our curriculum is tailored to provide students with an engaging range of subjects while also enabling them to develop cross-curricular skills and understanding. As they grow, our students have a range of opportunities to specialize according to their personal strength, interest, and ambition. Through our curriculum, we set broad routes in Key Stage 3 that enable students to branch out in the Key Stage 4 and 5. At each stage, we encourage students to develop a greater understanding of who they are and their place in the world. Our curriculum. Our Key Stage 3 students will have 40 timetable lessons in a week, each lesson lasting 45 minutes. Subjects we offer in Key Stage 3, English, Math, and Science. We have 6 lessons per week. Arabic Physical Education, 4 lessons per week. Humanities, including History and Geography, 3 lessons per week. ICT, French, Social Studies, Islamic, and PSHE, they have 2 lessons per week. Art and Moral Education, 1 lesson per week. Extracurricular and co-curricular activities are the integral part of developing our students' enrichment profile. TSPS is committed to developing a range of extracurricular and co-curricular activities to ensure that the students have ample opportunities to learn and develop their interests and talents. We teach students how to grow into positive, responsible people who can work and cooperate with others while developing their knowledge and skills so that they achieve their true potential. We have a well-established enrichment activities like various competitions, debates, after-school activities, sporting pictures, MUM, Duke of Edinburgh, international trips, and about our community outreach program. Our students are engaged with a wider community, allowing them to explore and develop their social intelligence. A student who volunteers within the school and for events outside the school learns to manage time, develop leadership skill, enhance emotional intelligence, and develop a broader perspective in life. Key Stage 3 expectations. Academic expectations: to have a strong work ethic, maintain high effort levels, strive for 100% attendance in lessons. We also recommend our students to organize their subject files properly, meet the subject deadlines, and communicate effectively with the subject teachers. Also, continually take the backup of computerized work. And our pastoral expectations: strive for 100% attendance in lessons, correct uniform all the time. I'm sure our students know this. Be honest, courteous, and polite. Respect the property of others. Settle difference peacefully. Display good sportsmanship. Form time is a very important time for our students. Form time is where tutor meets students at the beginning of each day. It gives them a chance to check planners, take the registers, and offer support and guidance. It is 20 minutes per day from 7:30 a.m. to 7:45 a.m. Tutor time is very important as it is used to reinforce the school ethos and to inspire and encourage students. Form tutors will encourage an environment of mutual respect as well as showing personal attention to every individual as often as possible. The form tutor is a vital link between the student, school, and parents. The form activities. This year we had on Sunday literacy, reading books, and on Monday we had word of the week and in the house competitions we conducted. Tuesday we had morning assemblies and weekly challenges. Wednesdays we had planning upcoming assemblies, and Thursday we had literacy focus. We have 3 form classes. The form classes are named as innovators, risk takers, and creators. Key stage 3 assessments. As you know, we have formative assessment and summative assessment, in-class tests and end-of-term assessments. We have CAT4 assessment, GL assessment, NGRT, Arabic IBT, and any additional test which is required by KHDA. We have 2 online platforms in Key Stage 3, Schoology and Microsoft Teams. Login credential is given to each student at the beginning of the year. Student will receive an official school email ID and password for Microsoft Office 365 account. We encourage all our students to use the official email ID for the school communication. Our team, we have Assistant Principal, Ms. Sue Cook, Head of Pastoral, Ms. Grace, Head of Inclusion, Ms. Steffi Abraham, Head of Arabic and Islamic, Ms. Nancy Hassan, and our pastoral team for Key Stage 3, we have Achievement Leader, Ms. Lauren Stevens, Deputy Achievement Leader, Ms. Alexandra. Thank you for listening to me. And now Ms. Sue Cook, our Assistant Principal, will discuss with you about how you can support your child in the transition period. Once again, plenty thanks to all parents and students present here today. Thank you very much. Sue Cook.
Thank you, and welcome everybody to this afternoon's webinar. It's really good to see parents coming along, because I know that you'll all be concerned about how we're going to look after and educate your children. And part of my job is to reassure you that we have a team who are aiming to do just that. So the transition process at TSPS has already started. In April, we held 2 taster days for Year 6. And they came along, they came up the stairs or they turned on their computers. We had a day for online and we had a day for children in school where they could experience English, maths and science lessons and have a really good day getting to know the way around, getting to know teachers that they never met before, and to get a feel of what lessons would be like in these important subjects, really just getting a taste of what it's like in year 7 and in secondary. The important thing for them, though, I feel, and possibly for yourselves, is that they were able to ask the questions that were worrying them. And sometimes there were strange things, as you can imagine, and particularly at the moment. They were worried about things like getting lost and being late for lessons and all those things. So it was really good that they had the opportunity to ask all those questions and to be really reassured. At the end of the day, I was able to say to them, put up your hand if you feel better at the end of today than you did at the start. And every hand went up. They were all excited to be coming up to secondary, because by the end of year 6, they're ready to do just that. And they were really enthusiastic. Some were saying, can we start now? No, you've got to wait till September. But the good thing is that they're reassured. And that's what this afternoon is about for you. It's about reassuring you as well that your children are in good hands. We do plan to have another session before the end of the year, just as a reinforcement of the experience that they had in April. So Key Stage 3 then, what is it all about? But we call them the transition years because transition means change. And in these years, as in every transition year, we have another transition year, if you like, at the end of year 9, as they go into year 10, Key Stage 4. It's change because it means that things are changing for the students and they're also changing for you as parents. Because the children need to become much more independent. They go from having one classroom where they spend most of their time, where they will have the same teacher for most of their lessons, where they are looked after generally by one teacher who's responsible for them, to having much more independence. Hopefully, we'll be back to normal, whatever normal is, and we'll all be in school. But either way, they've got different class teachers, they might have different classrooms, they've got different lessons, all taught in different ways. And that can be a bit overwhelming at first, and we understand that. But that's part of becoming more independent. We do give them obviously some support with that. They will have a timetable which will tell them where they need to be, what they'll be studying, who they'll be studying it with, all those things. And we will spend time, particularly in the first few days, going through things like that so that they're reassured and they get more confident. They will have different rooms, they will have a form room and they will have classrooms. Hopefully in September they will be able to go to, for instance, to the science lab and do some science experiments and things. And they will be moving outside, obviously, for things like PE. There will be much more movement. And with that, there is a responsibility. They've got to learn how to move around safely and promptly so that time isn't wasted between classes. And this is all part of their independence training, which is helping them to go on and become independent students and eventually independent adults. They will be carrying their books around with a bag. Can I just say a quick word about bags? Lots of children seem to carry everything around with them for the whole week. They don't need to do that. And part of our training is that we have to show them, bring along just the things that you need for the day, organize yourself. And that again is all part of being independent. In terms of who they have daily contact with, as Ms. Pravina has just talked about, they will have tutor time every morning and every afternoon with a tutor who is responsible on the large scale for their well-being and checking that things are okay. There is a wider team around them that I will talk about in a moment. And they will have PSHE lessons and assemblies which look at the wider skills that we need when we're trying to grow up to be adults and we're trying to be well-rounded people. And PSHE and assemblies will help to cover those things. But tutor time gives them that daily contact with somebody who will really get to know them. So how can you support your child? First of all, I've talked about independence. Please encourage that. That can be difficult. I know as a parent, it can be really difficult because by becoming independent, we have to make mistakes. And sometimes as parents, we have to allow those mistakes to happen. But it does help if they can be in a good routine, if they can have reasonable bedtime so that they're up and alert and ready for school, if they've got a place to study, if they can organise their bags the night before if they're coming into school, or they've got their books the night before, even if they're learning at home, so that they don't feel that panic or that, oh, I've not got everything ready, I don't know what I'm doing, that leads to feeling confused and insecure. Daft thing, but attaching the timetable to the fridge can really help so that you can see what they should be doing or what lessons they're having, and you can have those conversations, but it's also a reminder to them. But it really does help when you can say at the end of the day, well, how was science? How was history? And that helps with the communication, which is really important to supporting your child. Provide plenty of water. I know that sounds like a silly thing to put into a list like this, but it is part of a child feeling comfortable at school. Being able to have their snacks when they have the time to have them, but being able to have a quick drink of water and not feel, oh, I can't ask, or I feel thirsty, I don't know what to do. We want children to feel comfortable. We want children to feel secure. So making sure that all these little things are in place for them really helps. Give them some time, and this is something I would say to staff too. Be aware that it can take some time for some children to adjust. Some children do it just like that. They're ready to go, and within a day, it's like they've always been in year 7. Some children take a little bit longer, and it's important to feel that, yes, they can take that little bit longer. That doesn't mean it's 6 weeks later, they're still late for class, that we're not going to have words, but we can allow them some time because there is a balance of support and not indulgence. Yes, it can take some time, but we have to get that balance right. And of course, like I say, we are here to support you. If you have any concerns at all, any time about your child, the first port of call is always the tutor. You will have the tutor's email address. You'll be able to just send them a quick message and say, I'm quite worried about this. Most things can be dealt with at that level. The tutor is the person you can tell if your child is not feeling very confident, has got some concerns, isn't well, those sort of things. On top of, in the next tier of the chain, if you like, and this umbrella of support, as I call it, this umbrella of care, are the achievement leaders. They've got an overview over all the subjects in their key stage so that they can monitor concerns in different subjects. So they can see if a child is having problems in more than one place, and they can check that and relay those concerns and support. The pastoral lead then has an overview of the school, not just in terms of academic concerns, but also those things like behaviour, like emotional concerns that might affect the way a child is in school. Altogether, this umbrella of care is there to support you and your child. In the summer, we are going to be setting some activities for the children to be able to do in English, maths and science, not to give them homework, not to give them, extra tasks to do, or to spoil their summer because they'll have worked very hard, I'm sure, in year 6, but to keep their brains active, if you like, to give them confidence to start the new year and to get them to participate and keep up the skills in these key subjects. So there will be a pack of those going out in the summer. So key stage 3 is a time of challenge. It's a time of excitement. For some, it's a time of concern. But for parents, and I do understand this, it's that start of letting go as we help our children to take that next step in their educational chain of development, if you like, on that next step to becoming independent students and ultimately independent adults. Please do feel at any time that you can ask any questions and contact us But please be reassured, we are here to support you and your child. Thank you for listening to me, and I'm going to pass on to Mr. James for the conclusion of this event.
Thank you very much, Ms. Pravina and Ms. Sue, for highlighting the incredible journey ahead for those moving into Year 7. I echo the thoughts of Ms. Sue on her last slide there about the excitement of that journey, and just all those incredible skills, including those independent skills that are something that you have to rely on and develop as you move from primary into secondary. Year 7 is always a little bit of a challenge at first, but the amount you grow throughout that transitional year is incredible, and it's often wonderful for us as teachers to see just how children blossom by the time they get to Christmas and they've achieved and they've gone through that first term of learning. So like I say, if you have any questions, please do contact the school. Ms. Pravina and Mr. are always on hand. You can send questions through, and we're all here to try and support that transition process. I would just like to say thank you to Ms. Felicity, if I can spit it out, and Abdul Mateen from IT for setting up the webinar today. It is recorded, so you are able to access it. But like I said, call through to the school, email through to the school. We're here to support, and we're really looking forward to welcoming your children from Year 6 into Year 7 and supporting them through their journey within the secondary school. Please take care of yourselves, look after yourselves, stay safe within this pandemic, and we'll